Squirt, sauce. Squirt, squirt, sauce. Wake up, grab your phone, good vibes everywhere. Ryder's got big muscles, Lisa's got the hair. You never know what they're gonna say, but there's a 45% chance you might like it anyway. It's the sauce, they're spilling it live for you. It's the sauce with your favorite morning crew. It's the sauce, 2 hours will fly by. They don't know what they're doing, but they're gonna try. It's the sauce.
Good morning. I'm Sherry from Florida, and I'm on the sauce with Ryder and Lisa.
I'm Leanne from West Edmonton, and I'm on the sauce with Ryder and Lisa.
Hey, I'm Nikki from Edmonton, and I'm on the sauce with Ryder and Lisa.
We are live from the Sports Interaction Studio, and a good morning to you.
And thanks to everyone that is up early in the chat. I said when we first kicked off the sauce,
Yeah.
what are you giving weird looks about?
Well, I'll get into it in a second here. Go ahead.
So when we first started this show, first show, obviously a lot of people curious, a lot of haters checking out the show, wondering what's going on with Ryder and Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at?
Continue. I'll get into
can't.
it. Well, you stole my good pen.
Oh, get over it. Okay,
Thanks.
so when we first started this show, lots of people checking it out. And then it kind of slowed down a little bit, single digits waiting in the chat room. I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
We got to get back up to those double digits. Maybe, keep in mind, this is only our 4th week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into triple digits.
For people waiting to start the show.
For the show to start.
So we need over 100 people to be waiting.
Exactly. But I have a suggestion. We have some pretty awesome gift cards to everyone that's in the chat right now. If you don't mind sharing this video, I don't care where, on your Twitter, on your Instagram story, on your Facebook,
on your MySpace,
on your Nexopia.
Yeah, on your ICQ.
Yeah. In an MSN chat room.
Just write listening to the sauce with cool symbols on either side in purple.
And then just let us know that you shared it. And then we'll randomly select one of you and you're going to pick up a gift card. So what we have is we have $25 gift cards. We'll give away a couple this morning. And they work for the Dog Patch. They work for Little Brick and Cloverdale Coffee. So
some great local establishments.
Get it done. We are here live every weekday between 8 and 10 a.m. Mountain here in the Sports Interaction Studio. Thanks for joining the sauce.
We are with Reece as well, our producer in the house. Side Reece, we've called him. I feel like Wholesome Reece is sticking more, though.
Yeah, people love Reece.
Well, and don't you think Wholesome Reece is just a nice little nickname?
Yeah.
Especially when you're like so badass.
Well, yeah.
It's nice to mix it in with a little wholesomeness. Mm-hmm.
Wholesome Reece.
Wholesome Reece.
Reece, you went to the tragedy of an Oiler game last night. How was that experience for you? What were the vibes like in the building?
Yeah, it was good. They were pretty low. Like, honestly, every hit that was getting laid out, like, the crowd was trying to get into it. Like, everybody was getting fired up as much as they could, but once it was, like, 4-0 in the first period, it was pretty quiet in there.
Well, even, like, I noticed one goal, and then we had that breakaway chance, and I'm like, oh, that was so close. We really needed that. Because it felt like the crowd really wanted to get on board.
Yeah, and, like, I was just coming in the door and they had already gone down 1. Like, it was just a tough night.
And then their second goal, it felt like it just sucked the energy out of the room. It's like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
Well, and then everybody's like, oh, come on, Stu. Like, boo. Like, nobody was booing, I guess, but
the
it was
vibes were
pretty
booing.
Close. Yeah.
It's rough, right? Especially like you spend your hard-earned money to go to the game. I go to stand up and cheer. That's what I pay for when I go to the game. I want to see as many goals by the good guys as possible. And even if it's like a 6-5 loss, if I've got to go and stand up and scream
5 times.
and high-five some strangers,
It's fun.
that's a good night out for me. I'd rather them win, but...
It does suck when you stand up and high-five people, though, and you miss.
Or that they're not sure that they want to participate, and then you're feeling like you're kind of forcing a high five on somebody.
Yeah, you look around and you make eye contact with someone and they still won't high five you, and you're like, do I look like someone with sticky fingers? That was one time.
Yeah, you just kind of slowly lift your shoulder, like, are they going to be on board with this?
Are we going to do this? Or Kels in the chat said, love your hoodie. Lisa, thank you. It's Ben.
Now, Mandy's checking in on the chat as well from Saskatoon.
Ooh, we love that.
306er.
That's what's up. Shalina in the chat says, my 2-year-old danced hard to that opening song this morning. Yes, get your kids watching this. We are the new Miss Rachel. Just put the kids in front of the TV, in front of the iPad in the morning. We are here for them. They could learn something.
Sure, and pets too. If you want to get your pet to have some company in the morning, throw us on, then leave the house. We'll take the view and we'll take care of your pet.
We have some pretty awesome guests on the show today, including Sophie Gray, influencer turned business owner, and she's expanded. I think she's got 4 locations. We will ask her a couple questions about DiveThru, which is the business that she owns, and just some of her personal experiences, what got her to be so successful with her business journey. And we've got Zach, who works here at Oilersnation, who has been here for a decade, by the way.
Yeah.
An incredible writer. So we'll kind of break down the game last night a little bit more with Zach because he's very knowledgeable and we'll probably have some hot takes. So excited about that.
Easy to have a few hot takes about that game and the Oilers in general this year. I got a little bit grumpy on my Twitter last night. I'd like to apologize to anybody that I brought down with me. At one point, I said, I'm shutting this damn game off and I'm going to watch Manchester by the Sea because it'll be better for my mental health.
Isn't that a super depressing movie?
Yeah, I Googled, what's the saddest movie ever made? And that was it.
I wanted to let everyone know that Ryder has a brand new nickname. I know that we're trying to get Kryder going. We've got Skyder because he cries a lot. Is that why?
I cried in jail when I spent some time in the clink, yeah.
Right. And then Skyder is because when he's going through some emotional moments, he'll post pictures of the sky on his Instagram story. Follow along, Ryder FM.
So is this another rhyming nickname?
No, it's a personal nickname that I have for you that I have created. And it's Magic Man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's Manchester by the Sea.
No, your new nickname is Magic Man because yesterday we were driving in the Sauce-mobile.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Southview Acura.
Indeed.
And Magic Man was on by Heart.
Okay.
And you were singing so good. And I don't think you realized you were singing, but you were giving her. And you knew every word to Magic Man. I was like, I had no idea this guy was such an Ann Wilson fan. Can you give us a little rendition?
I don't like to sing because I'm not good at it, right?
No, you actually sounded really good. I think that you are a good singer when you're not joking around. Like when you are genuinely singing, it was pretty good. Can you give us a little Magic Man?
I would prefer not to. But it looks like you're going to just sit there staring at my mouth until I do. Magic Man, whoa. I hate it.
I love it.
I hated that.
So we're adding that to the nickname list for Ryder. Magic Man. His favorite band is Heart.
I did some karaokeing at Grey Cup.
What?
Yeah, this was like a house party I went to, and they had sick karaoke set up.
This was people you had just met for the first time? Mm-hmm. What were you singing?
Guess.
Kanye West?
Yeah, Little Jesus Walks.
Is that it, though? You stopped after one song, right?
No, and then I scream sang Danzig.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was good. Mother. See?
That was actually pretty good.
That gets the people going. Me singing Heart, Magic Man, that'll never do it for the people.
That's just for the Sauce-mobile.
Mother.
You got to be careful with your voice right now.
That was actually me just using the opportunity to clear my throat a little bit.
Maybe you should start doing that. Because Ryder currently has a 100-day cold. It's exhausting to be around. Now,
you just stare at me every time my voice starts to go. I wonder if Louis was doing the same thing last night to Jack, because Jack Michael's voice went almost completely during the game there for a bit.
It was right after the Clattenburg goal, I think, and then he realized, like, oh, there it goes. And the amount of times that I was yelling at the TV, get this guy a tea.
Yeah.
He needs help. He's going through it.
Right.
But Louis did great. Kind of just taking over.
Stepped up.
It was perfect.
Pretended like nothing was wrong, which maybe you could take a lesson from, to be perfectly honest.
I always take over. When I know you're about to clear your throat, guess what I do? Ramble. Dig a hole. Say something ridiculous. That's what I'm doing to save you. I'm sewering myself in those moments.
Well, Jack, if you're watching the show right now, or you're listening to the show later on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get us, just know that if you sing a little Danzig when times are tough, it might clear you out.
His
Mother! See?
Jack Michael's parents are fans of me
Is that right?
on Sirius XM. They listen to 77 on 7 all the time.
How did you find that out?
He told me.
Jack told you?
Yeah.
No kidding.
You jealous?
A little bit.
Yeah. Let's give some love to those who are in the chat right now. Northside Norm has checked in. Kels, we got Leafs Lady Fumingo in the chat who said that the vibes are always amazing in the chat room during the sauce. We agree. Casey is tuned in. I like how he closes his eyes when he starts singing. Yeah, it's true. We got Lisa Hayden 2.0 in the chat as well. Mandy has checked in. We've got ADM and then a bunch of numbers. Oilers gal, the list goes on. Sergeant Battle has checked in. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you're liking this video.
Is that Sewers, the last person that checked in?
I think so.
Is that how you'd pronounce that?
Yeah, it's fun with everyone's names. You kind of have to figure out. It's like a license plate. Rachel has checked in all the way from Cranbrook, BC. It's nice to see that people aren't just tuned in from here in the city.
Yes.
We can reach people like your friend Keenan,
Yeah.
who tunes into the show from Lloyd. He was actually the first person to text me last night after Clattenburg scored, and we had the game kind of behind. It was about 2 minutes behind. So as soon as I got the text from him that said Clatten, I was like, oh, he must have watched the show because I was talking about how I bet on Clattenburg to score. And I was like, ooh, something's about to happen.
I like that you were bragging about how you won a big ticket yesterday with Clattenburg scoring, but it was also combined with the Oilers winning, so you actually lost.
Okay, but the game wasn't over yet. We could have came back.
We were down 45-1.
Miracles happen all the time. Miracles happen all the time.
You're on Twitter like, haha, told you so.
I know somebody was like, wow, I'm going to need to know what the payout was. And all I wrote back was, hee 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 hee. Because I didn't want to be completely honest. Anyway, we have a segment that we wanted to show you.
Yeah.
Ryder has brought this back against my will, but it isn't entertaining.
Oh, that. Okay, yes. So decided to record Lisa again last night when I caught her being bad.
Yeah, so I think this is episode 7, so it's kind of fun for those of you who have never watched an episode of Living with Lisa. You know that you can scroll back and find the first 6 episodes. We're going to show you, I think, the second episode of Living with Lisa, and then we're going to get into the brand new episode. These are short, but they're kind of like behind the scenes moments of what it's like to live with me.
Well, it's great to just get to record you, and quite often you'll catch me, but then I can go back after and record the voice work.
Yeah, like if I heard you saying the things you're saying in these videos, I would shut it down immediately. But instead,
Totally.
you've got this amazing secret system where I don't know I'm being recorded yet.
Right.
So, Reece, if you want to pull up, I think it's episode 2 of Living with Lisa, and then we'll get into the brand new episode right
yeah.
after.
People often ask me what it's like living with Lisa. Here's episode 2. Today started off rough, when Lisa fell down the stairs. Well, more like a stair. Then, while walking perfectly fine, was very mad at me because I didn't seem concerned enough when she thought she broke her toe that she didn't break. Later, she blamed Mercury being in retrograde for her outburst rather than apologizing. She then sold this microwave at a laughably low price on Kijiji, even though it's not hers. And now, moments before it gets picked up, she's pretending to sleep so she doesn't have to interact with a stranger. So here I am, staying up later than intended, selling my microwave I didn't want to sell for not enough money. And that's another episode of Living with Lisa.
I miss that couch. We called it the raccoon couch because I got it for free, and it was not down a back alley, even though everyone assumed that. It was one of my best friend's mom's couch from the 70s.
And
it's badass.
when you went to pick it up,
There were not raccoons on it.
there were 2 raccoons making love on it.
No.
That I was there, actually.
So that's an old episode, and it is true. I am a nightmare when it comes to selling things online. One time I sold 2, not 1, 2 of a Ryder's exclusive. I think it was the same as what last night was.
Hockey Fights Cancer Oilers jerseys. I had 2 of them.
Yeah, you did.
And Lisa sold them both and was like, wow, those sold so fast.
I put them up for $30 each.
$30.
I think you probably could have gotten like $600 for them.
No, I mean, they didn't have players' names on them.
I thought they did.
But they're also like, don't sell Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys. You know? Like, just the premise. That's a pretty important jersey to have if you need to bust it out.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
They're gone.
They're gone. Two people were wearing them last night at the game, though.
Yeah,
So-
shout out to the 2 guys from Mill Woods that sprinted over to the house when they saw that those were on sale for $30.
So that's an old episode of Living with Lisa. Ryder caught a brand new episode, which I think is a completely normal thing to do this time of year, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Time for another episode of Living with Lisa. Today, while out running errands, she was adamant that I pick her up an advent calendar. Let me check the date. Nope, not December yet. And I'm pretty sure this isn't how advent calendars work, but I'm afraid to say anything. Most people use these to count down to Christmas. Lisa just uses them to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, honey, have some more. This sugar crash is gonna be epic. I'm scared. And that's another episode of Living with Lisa.
The look at the end is perfect.
And you know whose chocolate you ate. Those are your stepdaughter's
No,
chocolates.
that's like the practice round of advent calendars. I feel like everybody gets a second advent calendar.
No, I agree that there are practice rounds for bags of mini chocolate bars at Halloween. I've come to accept that that's probably true in most households.
Absolutely.
But the advent calendar is...
It's totally acceptable.
There should just be one per person if necessary, because some households don't want to share. But,
yeah, you don't share an advent calendar. That's not how that works.
Okay, well, you're not getting a second one.
Can I get a cheese one?
Sure, okay.
It's crazy.
As long as it's a cheese one.
So that's our segment, Living with Lisa. If you want more of that, make sure you're following Ryder FM. Good times. Can we talk about advent calendars for a second here?
Rachel says, sorry, real quickly, she was just protecting the dogs so they didn't eat the chocolate. She's
That's
doing
right.
that good work.
It's true. They did not get any, I promise. We need to talk about how incredible advent calendars are now. You can get an advent calendar for anything. Socks, underwear, beer, cheese, meats.
Flavored condoms. Anything you want. It's out there.
I actually was going to argue with that, but if I were to Google it right now, I bet there is one.
And guess who's having a jolly Christmas? The people that picked that up.
Yeah,
Right?
I guess so. That's what you're into. But there truly is an advent calendar for everything. It's awesome.
Austin says, I'm sorry to hear about your jersey, Ryder. If my missus sold mine, I'd lose it. Yeah, oh boy, Lisa, what the hell?
Kel said, I got a puzzle advent calendar this year. That's too much. You're doing a puzzle every day for a month straight?
Well, and do you
Who has
just
the time?
do you just get one puzzle piece a day and then you
Oh.
put it together slowly?
No.
It's a whole new puzzle every day.
Yeah, how does that work, Kels? We're going to need a little bit more context with the puzzle advent calendar, because if somebody got me that, I'd be pissed.
Well, because it does kind of feel like if it's a unique puzzle every day, that's too much. But if it's just one piece a day, that's not enough.
If I got a puzzle advent calendar, that's someone trying to tell me that they're worried about my memory. They're like, girl,
You need to work on
you
some
need
things.
to get
Yeah.
some stimulation there.
She got back to us. They're mini puzzles.
Okay.
I guess a mini puzzle, like 24 mini puzzles is what she's got.
Shout out to Elizabeth in the chat who is speaking French. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Lisa. Comment vas-tu?
Well, that was pretty good.
Comme ci, comme ça.
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
I thought you did great, except for, like, the pronunciation wasn't the best.
No.
But I think it would still be appreciated.
Yeah, I guess.
Unless you went and tried to use it in Quebec to someone.
That's correct.
Because they
They would not like that.
have no time for somebody just trying.
Casey wrote in the chat, I bought myself, a short story advent calendar for myself. Let's bring back reading for fun. Incredible.
All right.
Good for you. What other advent calendars are you guys indulging in?
Anybody got one of them ones I was mentioning?
I doubt that.
Let us hear about it.
I bet it'll see an increase in Google searches after today. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Possibly.
There's got to be sexy advent calendars. We're at that point.
For sure.
Yeah.
I bet they're like a mix. They're not all just like flavored domes.
There'd be like a flavored dome. There would be maybe like some cuffs,
Banana flavored motion lotion, probably.
some like blinder thing, maybe a little whip thing.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sounds fun.
Let's get some of those to give away on the show.
Yes. By the way, did you share this video on the timeline of your Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? If you did, let us know in the chat. We're going to randomly select some of you and give you a $25 gift card to check out some awesome local businesses here in the city.
And for those of you that are hoping to hear some people rant today about the Oilers in that game last night, Zach Laing joins us in about 10 minutes, and we will be deep diving then. A couple days ago, I mentioned a story about Campbell's Soup. Do you remember this?
This is a bad situation.
The vice president has been fired for claiming in a rant that somebody recorded and then released that Campbell's Soup is highly processed food for poor people, and said that he doesn't want anything to do with eating chicken that was made from a 3D printer. That's how he worded it.
What's the update?
The update is Campbell's is denying that its soup contains bioengineered meat. They're saying it wasn't created in a 3D printer. And yes, that guy has been fired. They said those remarks were false and completely inaccurate.
Okay.
So just a heads up, you can still make that casserole tonight and not feel bad about 3D printed
I'm
meat.
always going for the Campbells. It's what I was raised on.
I saw a post the other day, I think it might have been on Yagwave, and it said that Alberta grocery stores are going to start selling meat that is like cloned, so it's not legit. It's from an animal still, but it's a cloned animal.
Weird.
And that they're not going to tell you if it's cloned or not. So I'm going to keep going with my trend, which is supporting local ranchers. Get yourself 2 or 3 people, buy a cow together, take it to a good butcher shop. They'll get it all ready for you. Load your freezer up, and you never have to deal with grocery store beef again.
Yeah, if you've got an in with a farmer of some sort.
Yeah, and if you don't, you can just find one. Like they exist. They would rather sell straight to you than they would have to use a middleman that might be mixing their product in with some like cloned bioengineered meat.
Yeah, have you seen those videos of some of the meat that's being sold that they fill it with water to make it weigh more so then they can charge more?
Well, you can tell too with ground beef sometimes. Like the ground beef that I get straight from the rancher, you cook that, you don't even have to strain it most of the time.
Right.
Whereas
Some it's just like so watery.
some of the times it's like
Yeah.
and that beef
It's hitting you in the face.
beef fat doesn't do that
Right.
when it's cooked.
Well, thank you for that random recommendation. We should actually get into a round of recommend something. We received a speak pipe message from one of our saucers. So I think we should air that before we get into our recommend something of the day.
And also just let you know that if you ever come across something that you're like, oh, I bet fellow saucers would like this, I better write it down. Instead, just send us a voice note.
Yeah, it's really easy. Speakpipe.com/Ryder and Lisa. You literally click one button and it's like you're sending a voice note to a friend.
Or eating a hot dog.
Or eating a hot dog or doing whatever else this looks like. And you can keep it anonymous too. You don't have to we don't ask for all your information. But if you want to shout out where you listen from, that's fine too.
I've never backhand a hot dog, I don't think.
I don't know. Me neither.
Yeah, so it wasn't a hot dog.
Okay, let's get to this voice note that we got. Then we'll get into recommend something.
Sorry, it's coming.
I think his name was Clayton.
Okay. And he just left us a
He
voice
just
note.
sent
out of
us a voice
nowhere.
note. I was like, I'm putting this on the show.
Why don't we get into our recommend somethings instead of putting Reece on the spot, and we can finish with his.
Okay.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, so my Movember story. Back in, I think it was 2011, I was a porter at the Druid, and everybody in the bar was all doing Movember. And so the first week I go to work, and I'm so young, I could barely grow a mustache, let alone a half-decent one, right? So I go to work, and everybody's making fun of me. Just take it in stride. It's all good fun, right? And so before I go to work the next week, my girlfriend was like, what if I put a little bit of mascara in your mustache so it would like pop a little bit, right? And I'm like, okay, sure, why not? So she puts the mascara in. I go to work and everyone's like, holy man, I can't believe after like a week it looks this good and all this stuff. And I'm soaking in all these compliments on top of the world at the time, right? But of course, working in a bar gets busy. And around 11:30-ish, it's really hot. Mascara starts to run. Nobody tells me until I walk past a mirror as I'm going into the cooler, and I see in the mirror mascara all over like my mouth and my cheeks and all this stuff, and I just look like garbage. So needless to say, do not put mascara in your mustache for Movember. That would be my recommend something for today.
How embarrassing would that be?
Yeah. I actually have a little tip for those that are trying to grow a mustache. Maybe we can work this one with Reece.
Okay.
That I used to use back in the day when mine wouldn't come in as full as I wanted. I mean, it still doesn't. I still don't grow like a duster. But it was dye your stash Black Friday. So,
that's coming up.
Yeah.
That's this Friday.
On Black Friday, you get yourself a
Just for Men
kit and just give her a little, hey, how's she going? It is crazy how much more prominent they can look.
Really?
Immediately. But then, I mean, it's almost the end of the month.
I was just going to say, wouldn't you just shave it off come December? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Extend it.
But anyway, dye your stash Black Friday, something I invented many moons ago, and works pretty good. Movember, the leading charity dedicated to changing the face of men's health, because healthier men mean a healthier world. And that call that we got is going to be today's presentation of Movember. Mm-hmm. This is the 19th annual campaign for Movember in Canada, raising funds and awareness for men's mental health across the country since 2003. Over 6 million people have raised money for Movember. In 2024, over 47,000 Canadians participated, and the movement continues to grow. Donate at Movember.com today and be a part of the changing face of men's health in Canada.
So there you go. You can leave us a hilarious voicemail like that if you want to be a part of the show, maybe spark a conversation between the three of us. It's so much fun. So that was a great recommendation. Do not use mascara if you're trying to fill in your mustache. Do the... What do you call it?
Dye your stash Black Friday.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. My recommendation of the day is if you are in a relationship, bring your partner flowers on a day that they're not expecting it. Do not just give flowers on Valentine's Day or their birthday or anniversary. Surprise flowers are so much cooler. Do you guys agree?
Yes, and here's my question about it, because I got you some surprise flowers 2 days ago.
Yeah, for no reason, and I was like, this is the best.
And did I write a card?
No. If you did, I threw it out.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure I wrote just 'cause on it.
Aw.
Okay, so that was good.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it came across as lazy or if it was nice.
Speaking of lazy, when it does come to flowers, when you get a bouquet of flowers, you have to actually maneuver them into the vase. Mm-hmm. Stop
What?
You keep looking at the hand movements I'm doing like it's
Well, that one was a little bit ridiculous.
I was putting stems in a vase.
Sure.
Vase? Either way, you gotta put them in your own way to actually make them look good. You can't just take them out and throw them in a vase with water and away she goes.
Right.
You have to trim the stems. You have to make sure everything is placed nicely.
Sure.
I watched a whole TikTok on it the other day. It's a thing.
Buying flowers for you became a little bit more challenging when you said, I'm not sure I love the tacky colors at one point.
You have to be honest, too, because if
No,
you
I know,
pretend...
but like sometimes in the middle of winter in Canada, the options are pretty limited. Even at like really nice flower shops.
Listen, just don't ever get the rainbow roses. Nobody wants those.
What about like the turquoise roses?
Yeah, okay. That's all right.
Well, okay.
Reece, if you're ever going to get Jess some flowers, steer away from the rainbow colored roses because they're tacky.
Okay.
Unless there's some women, if there's some people in the chat that want them, I mean, someone's got to be buying them. Why are they still always in the store?
And like when the selection is limited, they still seem to always have the rainbow roses.
I don't know.
So maybe you just really offended some people.
Probably.
I'd apologize.
I'm sorry.
Reece, you ever get surprise flowers for your lady?
Yeah, I'd not to brag or anything, but I'd honestly consider my flower game not bad. It's probably been too long, honestly, now that I'm saying this, but...
You've been busy.
Mm-hmm.
But that would make it even better.
Right.
Like a busy person being like, I still thought of you and I got you these flowers.
And thanks for understanding that I've been so busy.
Bang.
Winky face.
Straight out of the doghouse.
Exactly.
Eggplant.
Kalina wrote in, rules of gifting flowers is you can't give somebody a job to prep their own flowers. You have to prep them yourself too. So if you were to actually like put them in the vase and learn how to do that, that's cool.
Nope, I'd do it wrong and I'd get in trouble. That's what would happen.
That's true.
You'd be like, why'd you put all the red ones on one side together?
Whenever there is a lily in it, I throw it out too because they're too stinky. And most people are allergic to lilies and don't know it. And they're very toxic to animals.
See, this is a tough game. You gotta find your sweet spot. Just set them on the counter and get out of there. That's my move.
Lisa Hayden wrote, speaking of flowers, I have a recommend something I learned from a flower lady at Costco. When you get home, put a teaspoon of bleach in the vase with water. It makes them last way longer. Whoa.
And it makes them nice and white, so nobody can complain about the tacky colors.
Richard said, my wife prefers to arrange them herself. We've been married for 43 years. Yeah, okay. We trust Richard's wife.
I guess you just got to find out each person's vibe.
Yeah, but I do think it took me a while to be honest with you that the flowers you were bringing home were ugly. Because I still appreciated it so much. It's such a sweet gesture, but it got to the point where I was like, I can't have these fugly flowers.
Don't call my
on
flowers
display.
fugly.
They were fugly. But you've learned.
Kind of. Sometimes you go in there and you're like, well, she's going to hate all these.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Time for my recommend something. And this is to get yourself some laundry detergent that isn't the size of a hockey puck. You know, like the pouches,
The pods.
that are the size of a fist that you get at Costco?
Yeah, they're massive. That's when you're doing a load of, like, everyone's betting at once.
Yeah, or if you have like 7 different guys and gals that have oily coveralls that you're washing at the same time in your place of business, for example, then get a pod the size of a pop can. But you genuinely don't need it. And the amount of times ever since switching to just a little bit of liquid detergent.
Just a little bit. It's all you need is like this much, truly. We're told to use way more because they want you to keep buying their product.
Exactly.
You truly need the smallest amount of detergent.
It's exactly like the Tabasco thing and how they started making more money as a company. They just made the hole in the Tabasco sauce a little bit bigger. People started using more. So they want you to use a ton of liquid detergent. You don't need that much. Do you see how much that soaps up? You don't need it.
You don't need it. And then if you use too much and it's the super fragrant one, that's why you have a rash on your back.
Yeah. Yeah, also that.
We're all rashier these days.
A little bit too stinky when you're throwing in a milk jug worth of detergent. And those pods are huge
They're
now.
massive. Yeah, so I was
Remember when they started and they were like the same
little.
size as the dishwasher ones? And now they're like the size of a baby? Don't put the babies in the laundry.
No. One time I wore a pair of trousers and I had a migraine that day. And for some reason, the detergent was like super fragrant. And I was complaining about it to Ryder and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I think I need to change. And he's like, let's just trade pants. So we traded pants over. And then Ryder, you had to go and film a video somewhere that day for a client. And so he had to go wearing my women's trousers to the store. And he didn't care. He did it because he knew that the fragrance was too strong for me.
It was just a waist up video, by the way.
Yeah.
If not, I would have been out there looking like Gru
Yeah.
for sure. Can you see it?
Anyway, I think that was a really efficient round of recommend something, a segment where we recommend something. Is our guest Zach in the house yet, or did he sleep in? I was worried about this.
He's not here yet, but I have been texting with him.
Oh,
so
perfect.
He is like en route.
When I asked Zach to join the show, he's like, what time are you thinking? I was like, I don't know, 8:30. He's like, ugh, I'm not a morning person. I said, even better. Let's see how exhausted you are.
It is interesting that some people have just figured out how to get through life without having to wake up early, and shout out to them because they've figured it out. Just like we figured out how to do something where we can sometimes get a good nap in a weekday afternoon, or like tomorrow for Thanksgiving football.
Yeah.
There's a good chance I can watch NFL football on a random Thursday for 7 hours straight.
I think a lot of people are doing that at their office too, though. Like even in the chat right now, I'd like show of hands how many of you are at the office.
True.
Say me in the chat right now if you're at work, but also have us on the side, which I love.
Well, I'm kind of old school too, that when I think about watching sports, it has to be on a TV, but it's not for a lot of people. They can watch on their phone all day.
No, I'm learning that, especially at the gym. Like for a stretch there, I would only listen to audio on the treadmill. But then you look over and you're like, oh, that person is like dedicating their cardio session to their guilt show. Like if I'm going to sit down, if I'm going to indulge in Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I'm only allowed to watch it when I'm on the treadmill. It's so smart.
Well, yeah, yesterday on the elliptical, I watched Oilersnation every day for 45 minutes straight, and the time flew by. Boss man Jay was on the show, and he meant to say Bash Brothers when talking about just a couple big defensemen in the NHL.
Okay.
But he called them the Bang Bros instead.
Oops.
And so now forevermore, if we say something we shouldn't, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, well, remember when you...
Because what are the Bang Brothers?
Doesn't matter, Lisa.
Okay. Shout out to everyone that is checking out the sauce from their office today. You're all bad. I love it. Casey, Richard, Justin. We got Quid.
Oh, wow. That many people are watching from work.
Emily, Devin, Rank Titan, Amanda, Richard, Mandy.
We should be a little bit quieter.
Why?
Well, because if they're watching from work, we don't want them to get in trouble.
So should we just talk like this for the next
I think
bit?
the rest of the show, we don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Okay.
I have some TV news. Should we get into that? TV and movie news?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Speaking of, big day today for Reece.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening tonight, Reece? Tell everyone.
I've got my girlfriend coming over. We're going to pick up some dinner, get all locked in, nice and comfy, and then try and cruise through like 4 episodes of Stranger Things tonight.
It's just part 1 of the final season that's released tonight, right?
Yeah, like they're doing it super weird. Like I think today is 4 episodes, and then Christmas Day there's another episode, and then I think New Year's Eve there's the 3 final episodes.
Okay.
Holy, you're going to be busy.
It's a little different. But
they have figured out how to make people just continue their subscriptions, though, right? Like, 100%. I think that's where it came from. Because when they originally started the Netflix, how old do I sound?
When
they originally started the Netflix.
Did you see what Auntie Lynn wrote on the Facebooks?
They would just release the whole season, right? And that's what binge watching started, it felt like. Whereas now they've wised up.
Man, there's so much to do as far as entertainment this week. Think about it. Reece is going to have to dedicate some time to Stranger Things. If you PVR'd Dancing with the Stars, because they announced the winner last night, you're going to have to catch up on that.
We're a spoiler-free zone except for sports around here.
Spoiler-free zone.
Yeah.
That's great. What else is happening?
Well, speaking of Stranger Things, it's become the first Netflix series to have all 4 seasons rank in the top 10 at the same time. So a lot of people are going back, binge watching what they've missed or maybe what they've seen and kind of forget. I don't mind doing that once in a while when there's a show that I'm excited about the next season and you go back and recap. There's also some really good like YouTube recaps on most popular shows where you can get the Coles notes, and instead of just like on last season on and then it's 1 minute where you're like, who's that again?
It's like a 20-minute recap and then you don't have to go back and rewatch everything. Yeah, what else is happening right now? I mean, Wicked for Good. I'm going to be going on Tuesday with your daughter Charlie, so I'm excited about that. There's so many NFL games, especially tomorrow. It's a big day.
Some other TV and movie news. Hulu has renewed The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Who else knows about P-Gate?
What's P-Gate?
So one of the women on Mormon Wives leaked information, pun unintended, of another wife on Mormon Wives that drank her husband's.
Really?
Number 1.
But they're not allowed to drink booze.
That's right.
Get it together, Mormon Wives. That's what I say.
So it's pretty juicy right now.
There's a 20-episode order set to premiere in 2026. And the other news I had from the TV and movie world is that 50 Cent has gotten his 4-part Netflix documentary series greenlit, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, and it is set to premiere on December 2nd.
That's like tomorrow.
It's going to explore his Diddy's life, career, recent criminal trial stemming from abuse allegations by his ex, leading to his current prison sentence for prostitution-related charges. It's covering it all.
That's going to be juicy.
50 Cent is a bad man.
In a good way?
Well, yeah, like you get shot 9 times and survive. You're like, bring it on, Diddy. I think almost everybody else in the music industry, especially, would be terrified to release something like this. 50 Cent doesn't care.
Didn't he buy all the tickets to another artist's show so no one would show up?
Yeah.
And then it was just him sitting in the crowd, or was that a fake story?
No, he had a beef with somebody and he did that. And then there was also another artist who did like the perverted version and had like a huge crush on Sabrina Carpenter, so bought all of the seats in her and was just sitting there by themselves.
Who was that?
And they made her like perform to
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it John Mayer maybe that did it to Sabrina Carpenter? That feels like there's too much of an age gap there. It would have been a bigger story if it was him. I forget who it was. Pete Davidson,
Probably.
Anyway.
Let's get to our first guest of the day. I'm very excited about this. We're continuing our tour of meeting the staff here at Oilersnation, and today is extra special because this individual has been here for a decade. So welcome to the Sports Interaction Studio. We've got Zach in the house. Hello, Zach.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Excited to be up this early?
Not particularly. Not much of a morning guy, but you know what? I said this yesterday. I didn't want to end up on Lisa's list, so I was like, I'm getting up. I will be here. Unfortunately, I was a few minutes late today. I had a radio hit this morning.
That's
All
okay.
good, man. All
Yeah,
good.
good fun.
At least you get to wake up after such a wonderful hockey game last night to talk about that this morning.
I saw your tweets throughout the game being live tweeted and your tweets throughout the game. You guys were on fire.
Well, and angry.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch that one last night. I felt like it was a really important game in the season.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of, I don't know, it was, I guess. Like, you know, you come home from a 7-game road trip and it felt like they were starting to, like, maybe not fully turn a corner, but, like, start to show a little bit of life. And to put a stinker up like that on home ice again is just so depressing to see, right? You know, you look at what happened against Colorado. There was, like, some stat where it was, like, their worst loss since, like, 2010 or something like that. And even last night, they were down by 4 goals after the first period. First time since like 2013 they had been down by 4 goals after the first period. So we're just playing all the hits with a decade of darkness this year.
Oh, man. And you're right. It did feel like at least... I know that the road trip we went through 3-3-1 on didn't go great, but it felt like we found a bit of a personality. Like it felt like, oh, I see what this team is doing and I could see how they could start carving out some wins. But then you just put up an absolute stinker.
And, like, I think what was upsetting about last night, too, is, like, you know, Adam Henrique gets into it with the big Stars defenseman Leon Bichelle in front of the net, right? And I was like, oh, wow, somebody's actually showing a little bit of fight. And then the next shift, it was just like, meh, whatever. Like, they just couldn't seem to care. And, like, even Connor Clattenburg scores his first NHL goal. I mean, this is a 5th-round pick who's been a tough guy in the OHL and in the American League to start his first pro year this year. He gets his first NHL goal. And it's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, we're still down by 3, but, like, they've come back from that before, right? And, again, it was just nothing after that. And that's the part that's concerning for me. Is like, they just look absolutely lifeless right now.
Anytime there is something to build on, they flop with their attempt to build on it. It was interesting to hear both Connor and Leon. I'm happy that both of them got interviewed last night because after that Colorado loss, I think they like just sent up Nuge to go have to do it. But both of them seemed genuinely distraught. And I liked how they didn't throw the goalies under the bus. And why would they? They're the leaders of the team. But they were very clear that they weren't thrilled with how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, the goaltending is an issue, obviously, right? I mean, Skinner has been fine for the last couple of years, but he was thrust into a role he wasn't really ready for. I mean, you know, Jack Campbell sucked at the start of the season 2 years ago, so it predicated, you know, Stuart Skinner becoming the guy. And, you know, Calvin Pickard comes up. He's been fine. He's been a good soldier the last couple of years, but he's got some of the worst goaltending numbers in the league, like if not the worst right now. Jack Campbell had a shorter leash in that season. He lasted 5 games. Pickard's up to 9 games played now, I think. Not sitting here saying that Calvin Pickard is the big problem with this team or anything like that, but I guess it's getting to the point of like, okay, they've got to figure something out here. You know, Connor Ingram was apparently going to get called up at the end of this road trip, and Pickard was going to get placed on waivers, but then the players went in and went up to bat for Pickard, and he had the great game against Tampa Bay, and then it's like, oh, Pickard's great again, but he's unfortunately really not. And I don't know, something's got to give. That's what I was going to say.
Like, when's that boot going to drop? Like, what are we expecting to happen next? There's going to be breaking news of something happening, or
you
someone.
You got to think so. It feels like soon something's probably coming.
You got to wonder. You know, Sportsnet's Nick Kyprios reported yesterday that like there's a potential Skinner for Jordan Binnington swap with the St. Louis Blues. I don't know if that's going to solve things, but I think at this point you have to give it a shot. I mean, Binnington's numbers have not been good this year either, but it almost feels like, you know, you got to get something different. You have to try a different flavor.
Well, and he has shown he can win big games. He was the goalie for Team Canada at the Four Nations and stood on his head for a couple of those games. So, yeah, you wonder if maybe, I don't think that's the long-term answer, but we need something to spark us. And it feels like in years past, this is when you'd make a coaching change. But the fact that we just signed Knobloch to 3 years, that's a pretty sketchy move, I would think, to sign a guy like that and then get rid of him like almost immediately. So I don't know, goalie change, I guess.
It's kind of what you got to do, right? I mean, listen, Daryl Cates has got the money. Like, if he wants to buy him, you know, if he wants to fire Knobloch and pay him for 3 years, he's got the money to do that. That's not a concern. But I think what's concerning is just how flat they've come out and looked playing underneath him this season.
Mm-hmm. So with Clattenburg, him being brought up to play with us, and like, what happens now? Like, because he's got so much life, like that celebration was so fun to see. I mean, he was brought in because of injuries.
Yeah,
because
for the most part. So with Nuge coming back, I think they probably assumed they'd send him down.
How can you, though?
I know.
I mean, and it's weird to say after 2 games, but, you know, he was a presence in the Florida game on Saturday night. Last night, he was an effective player out there. I mean, you know, the Oilers did well with him on the ice. He laid 7 hits. He had a shot on goal. He got that goal, obviously, right? Like, you can't really send a guy down like that who's got that kind of energy when he's playing when you see the rest of what this team is bringing. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to have to figure something out. I wouldn't be surprised if like a David Tomasek maybe got sent down or something like that. He doesn't require waivers right now. So that could be an easy route for them to go to.
Fair enough. It is interesting when you see Clattenburg hit. You're like, whoa, why doesn't everybody else just do that? Like, he skates through guys. And it's been a long time since I've seen an Oiler player skate through a guy when laying a hit.
Yeah, I mean, like, probably Zach Kassian.
Kassian is exactly what I was going to say.
Probably the last guy I can think of. The Oilers feel like they need a Clattenburg in the lineup. Guy who can just go play 10 or 12 minutes, just hits absolutely everything in sight. And what's interesting, too, is, like, you know, there's a gap between the American Hockey League and the NHL, right? And I think, you know, against the Panthers, he was kind of struggling to, like, really connect on those hits, you know, and I think early in the Dallas game as well, you know, last night, but it felt like as it went on, he was picking his spots better, right? You know, the skill gap for these defensemen that he's laying these hits on or forwards is significantly higher than the AHL. So he's got to kind of learn to adapt to that as well. And, you know, the more experience he has, the better, right?
For sure. And you worried about maybe some dumb penalties too. Like if he's catching up to a guy and trying to hit him or, you know, wants it a little bit too much. But I think you'd sacrifice that at this point.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can't go full Matt Rempe out there. You know what I mean? Throwing elbows left, right, and center. But, you know, he's a big guy. He can be a presence out there, and he's just got to kind of keep his head on straight. You know, he's certainly looking for a scrap last night towards the end of that game, and I can't blame him. And I also can't blame the Dallas Stars for looking at him and laughing and being like, okay, 20-year-old child who just was playing in his second game, like, go away. So,
yeah, they didn't want that smoke, nor should they have.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your origin story, how you got started here at Oilers Nation, what you do for those who are maybe checking out the show and aren't aware of your presence here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my origin story about the Oilers goes back to when I was born. I mean, I was born in St. Albert, grew up in Edmonton for the first year and a half of my life, and then my parents moved down to Calgary. And I like to say that my dad raised me as an Oilers fan. So, you know, I grew up in Calgary as an Oilers fan, and I loved the team. 05-06 was the first year that my dad would let me stay up long enough to watch the games. I was 10 years old at the time, so fell in love with that team, and then I was hooked ever since. So it was a pretty long stretch, like immediately after 05-06, right? You get right to the peak of a cup final, and then it's like, wait a second, what do you mean we're not in the playoffs? Like, this is weird, right? So yeah, I grew up a fan, and I was on Twitter in 2009, and in high school, I was playing football and trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life. And I ended up with a really bad concussion in grade 11 that kind of knocked me out of high school for a full semester.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So then my passion for hockey grew even more. And so I kind of realized, okay, like, I'm not going to be able to pursue being a football player. So what else could I do? And, this was when like insiders in hockey were first like really coming to the forefront in like the public eye, like the Bob McKenzies of the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like I could get paid to watch hockey for the rest of my life. I was like, that sounds pretty sick. Like I'm in on that, right? So I went to journalism school in Calgary, and I actually started writing for one of Bag Milk's old websites in 2012. So I've known him for quite a long time. And then, it just kind of progressed from there, did my journalism school, did an internship in 2015 in Banff for the summer after I graduated. Covered the Memorial Cup that year. And then, Bag Milk reached out to me that summer and said, hey, do you want to start writing for us? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So started as a contributor in 2015, and then worked in Airdrie for the Airdrie Echo newspaper for a year. Worked at the Calgary Herald Sun for a year and a half.
Tell us a little bit about that. That was a specific genre that you were writing on.
Yeah, I was covering cops and crime.
Oh, badass.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I grew up as a huge fan of like Dog the Bounty Hunter and America's Most Wanted. Like, I watched a lot of that stuff growing up, and I was like, man, like, maybe I'll be a cop like when I was a kid, right? So I always was kind of fascinated with it. And when I started at the Herald, the cops and crime reporter was actually just leaving to go work in Toronto. And so I just kind of saw a bit of a niche, a role to fill. So I kind of went in on it. So it was pretty wild year and a half, to say the very least.
So you're watching hockey games while listening to the cop radar?
Yeah. Like seriously, there was some nights like that. Yeah. I usually worked the late shift. So it was Tuesday to Saturday. So 2 p.m. in the afternoon till 10 at night most days. And I would have the scanner beside me. And if there was an Oilers game on that night, I'd be watching it. And it was an interesting job for a year and a bit, to say the least.
That's crazy.
Something that I noticed about a lot of the people that work here is that everybody became a fan and then battled through a lot of tough years. Do you think that actually creates a bigger fan when you have to deal with
the lows,
years and years of getting excited for the draft and things like that? Like, I feel like we're maybe a more hardcore fan base because of what we went through.
I think so. I mean, you talk to pretty much any Oiler fan of any age, and they'll talk about the tough years that they saw with this team. Unless they, grew up in the like 70s and 80s, right? Like, I mean, the 90s, it was a tough years there. The mid thousands, same thing. We had the decade of darkness too. Like, I think so for sure. I mean, weirdly enough, it taught me life lessons of how to like struggle through things still like try and come out on top, right? Like, I don't know. I do agree with you though, Ryder. Like, I really do think that it like, creates a more passionate fan. I mean, I've certainly found myself more invested in the franchise and the organization, and that's only kind of grown over time.
Like, it would be tough for me to consider myself a Vegas Golden Knights fan when it's like, I think this is going to be my team. Oh, championship a couple years later.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. We're competitive every year.
Yeah.
I like being in the muck with everybody here. And actually, now that we have a contender, or maybe not this year, but the last few years have just been really rewarding for all those years that we toughed out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think of the movie Shawshank Redemption. Andy Dufresne's, crawling through the tunnels and then coming out and the rain's falling down on him. Like, that's what it feels like almost, right? Like,
that's us.
These last couple of years have been really fun. They really have with these deep cup runs.
So next up, we got the Kraken, who are doing a little bit better than people probably expect this year. And after that, what do we got? The Wild, the Kraken again, the Jets. How are you feeling looking forward?
Because Minnesota's doing pretty good. Haven't they won the last 5 games or something crazy like that?
Their goalie's on fire.
Yeah, Jesper Wallstedt. Man, if only the Oilers could have drafted him, eh? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel great about this stretch coming up. I don't really feel great about where this team is at right now. But, it feels like the schedule is kind of going to regulate a little bit for the Oilers here. They're going to have a lot more home games. They've gone through all of the bulk of their Eastern Conference travel for the year, which is a really good thing. A long 5-game road trip a couple weeks ago. Obviously, the 7-gamer here. So I think that's going to help. I don't think scheduling and that sort of a thing is like the biggest issue with this team. It makes up a very small part of it. But, being able to be at home on home ice is certainly going to play to their benefit. They've been a better team at home over the last number of years. So hopefully somewhere in this stretch here, they can kind of start to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, Seattle, they're playing Dallas tonight here. So, that'll be an interesting game. Minnesota, like you said, Lisa, they've been a good team this year. Not great or anything like that, but the goaltending's been on fire. So who knows? We'll see what happens because this team really needs to figure it out.
Well, and I think a huge win could correct a lot of mistakes for at least the fan base to get excited. Like I want to see like a 9-1 our way.
Yeah.
That'd be
where
nice.
everybody wins their tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
What is your favorite thing about what you do here?
Oh man, my favorite thing about what I do here, I guess just being able to be around so many creative people. That's really one of the coolest things here is like we've, look at the way that we've grown over these last number of years. I started full time 5 years ago, just before COVID hit, which was an interesting time to, kind of change career paths. But it's been crazy to see how much this company has grown over the last number of years. Not only, here in Edmonton, which has obviously been, the heartbeat of the Nation Network for years now, but, Flames Nation has grown, Canucks Army has taken off, the Leafs Nation is doing as well as it's ever been. Blue Jays Nation, they had a really exciting year with the World Series run. The way that Daily Face-Off has grown, all of that kind of stuff. It's just so cool to be around so many people that are like-minded to me that just love the sport of hockey so much and can make a career out of it.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome to see because us being here, I mean, this is only week 4 for us, but seeing the support that we've gotten even in-house has been amazing. Like the support that we see in the chat from coworkers that are here that are liking the videos and sharing our work and, being keen to come and pop on the show with us, even though it's a little bit earlier than they'd like it to be. It's just been positive vibes all around, which it's just been a delight.
Yeah, it's really kind of special to be a part of something like that, right?
Yeah.
There's so many jobs out there where it's like, you're working for just like a big corporation or something like that. Like, I don't know, whatever the job is, right? And, there's none of that camaraderie and collective effort to kind of push this thing forward. But everybody here is just so invested in the brand and the company and wants to see it succeed. Like, we want to see the sauce do well. We want to see all of the shows do well. We want to see, everything, because that's what helps lift everybody up. And, that's kind of what feels like we're really all about here.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself personally that maybe some people wouldn't know. Like, do you have something interesting tattooed on you? Do you have a favorite movie no one would expect to hear? Tell us.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll touch on both of those. Favorite movie,
Perfect.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorites. It's not often that you see a sequel better than the first
I was just gonna say,
movie, right?
I love these opinions.
And it's one of the rare instances of that, so I love that. I also am a huge Simpsons fan, like a massive Simpsons fan. I've got a Simpsons tattoo on my leg. That's kind of a deep cut reference. So I don't know if either of you are big Simpsons fans or anything like that.
I used to watch all the time as a kid, but my memory's terrible. Like, I know like the big moments, but I wouldn't know a deep cut. So can you explain your tattoo and let's see if we can figure it out?
Yeah. So there's an episode where the Simpsons get a pool in their backyard.
Okay.
And, it kind of becomes like the spot for all of the kids in the summertime, right? And, they got this huge pool. It's got a big deck around it. And Bart climbs up the tree trying to get the attention of everybody. And he's going to go jump in the pool. And Nelson yells at him, "Bart, your epidermis is showing." And Bart's like, "My epi what?" And he's like kind of like freaking out because he doesn't know what's showing. And he falls and he breaks his leg. And so he's sitting, at the side of the pool, and he's got this big long cast on his leg, and all of the kids in town are playing in the pool, and he's stuck on the sidelines.
And sorry to interrupt, but epidermis is skin, right?
Your skin, yeah.
That's just your skin
That's
is showing.
just your skin,
Okay.
right? So, yeah, he's just wearing a bathing suit, so it's, a lot of skin exposed. And so he's kind of sitting there with like a marker, like, somebody signed my cast, and Milhouse comes by and he's like, "Oh, Milhouse, like, you'll sign my cast." And so Milhouse goes to start to sign his cast, and he writes Mill instead of writing house, he writes pool. So he writes Millpool on the side of Bart's leg. So I've got Millpool tattooed on the inside of my left leg.
That is a deep cut.
Yeah, it is. So I want to get more Simpsons tattoos
Yeah.
over the years, but haven't really got around to it yet.
That's awesome. Because I feel like the first guess I would have made was, is it Homer backing into the bush? But that's too mainstream.
Yeah, that's too big of one.
It's too big.
Yeah.
You got to go with like the really deep cut kind of references for them.
Unless you got really creative and you did like Homer backing up into your bush. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like if you just had...
What about what if you got Marge's sisters on your legs and you only shaved like the face, and then you know how they both have hairy legs?
Oh, that would be good.
That would be so funny.
That would be. That would require upkeep, though.
That's true.
And I'm not sure if I'm like down to like, shave my legs regularly or not.
Oh, check that
Yeah,
out.
there it is. That's the same thing.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, both of our suggestions would take some upkeep.
Yes.
In order for that. I guess mine could just be like, oh, he's in the bush now. It's the end of the meme.
Yeah. I mean, I think still to this day, the epic Simpsons episodes were always look forward to Halloween. They were so good.
Yeah, those are classics. Every year around Halloween, I always go back and watch a bunch of those ones. And yeah, I've watched, the first 20 seasons of the show probably like 4 or 5 times in the last, 7 years. So yeah, they're great.
Putting you on the spot here, but do you have one favorite episode?
Ooh, if you could get people to go right now, because I think it's all of them are on Disney Plus, right? If you could recommend a season, if someone maybe has never watched The Simpsons before, which is wild to think, but there are people out there.
Sure.
Like I'm sure your daughter's barely
Yeah,
dabbled.
she's seen a few episodes.
What
but-
would be the season that's like prime Simpsons humor? And if a specific episode helps, that's great too.
Now we've put you on the spot on favorite episode and season.
Well, maybe it's better to ask for season.
That's totally okay. And
Poor
it's
guy.
a great point because that does make it a little bit easier.
Yes.
But it's season 4. Season 4 to me is like the quintessential season of The Simpsons. It's got the most, great episodes of it. Probably favorite episode, Marge versus the monorail, when there's the monorail comes into town in Springfield. But that season also has Camp Krusty, which is a really good episode. Mr. Plow is in that one as well. There's a couple of other episodes in there that are really good too.
Awesome.
Is The Simpsons going to be around forever?
It might be. It kind of makes me sad how long it's gone on to a certain extent because like, you watch it now and it's like nothing like it was.
Yeah.
And, I think it's great that it's continuing on because it's a tremendous show. It always has been. And hopefully the people who are like just getting into The Simpsons now can like go back and look at the old episodes of what it once was in its heyday, because Bordsey says it best around here. It's your favorite show writer's favorite show.
True.
Like
Right.
it inspired so many comedians, so many shows we see nowadays. A lot of things like this wouldn't exist without The Simpsons. It really was a powerhouse.
I think one of my favorite episodes, I think maybe it's not my favorite episode, but it sticks out to me because it instilled so much fear in me, and it was the babysitter episode.
Oh yeah.
Why was she so scary?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Why was that such a scary episode? I think I just wasn't prepared for the fear of this person in their home watching the kids.
Yeah, like so that was one of the early season episodes too, and they were really kind of experimental at the time with the show still. Like they were trying to really kind of find their rhythm. And they definitely pushed the boundary into like a little freaky in that episode.
I was so scared.
Yeah, there's another episode too that kind of I think of like that too, where Bart finds out that he has like an evil twin brother that's been living in the attic.
Yes.
That they've been feeding like fish heads for the last like 10 years or whatever. That was another one of those episodes where I was like, oh wow, okay, they went a little bit dark on this one.
It is interesting to see, like, if you, like you said, the new people that are involved in maybe writing or whatever catch fire for a bit, you could end up with a couple really good episodes. It kind of has the same vibe of SNL in that, like, you hope for just a really good cast for a couple years that find a window where they just get hot and the creation process becomes easy.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, like, so many of the voice actors are still doing The Simpsons today.
Nancy
that
Cartwright.
yeah, Nancy Cartwright. Fun fact, you know who her niece is?
I feel like I know this answer.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina
No
Carpenter. I
way.
did know that. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Kind of really random. But
Yeah.
like she's still doing it. Dan Castellane is still doing it. Hank Azaria, like a lot of the original actors. But, you know, it's kind of funny when you listen to it now, like you could really hear how blown out a lot of their voices are from doing this for like 35 years now.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're right. A lot of shows have kind of taken some of their humor and how original they were. Like even with the Halloween episodes, how when they would roll the credits, they would change their names to scary names. Like they would turn everyone's actual name into a pun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love it. Simpsons are the best.
Southview Acura Sales in the chat says the episodes with Conan O'Brien involved are the best in their opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Zach, tell everyone who maybe is just checking in what you do here, where people can find you the most. Like if they want to consume your content, where are you?
Oilersnation.com. That's where I am the most. So I'm the associate editor of the website and news director for the company. So a lot of writing on the website is kind of my wheelhouse. So I always have a day after article that goes up at 7 a.m. the morning after a game. Cover a lot of the news, a lot of the opinion, a lot of the analysis of the team and that kind of stuff. I also do the daily face-off hockey report, DFS report. So daily fantasy sports. You know, you can build lineups with the salary, gambling, you know, some money on it and stuff like that. So I do a show with Brock Segan Monday to Friday as well. We break down every single NHL game on the slate that day. So it's good fun.
Awesome.
You're just a little bit busy.
Yeah, just a little bit busy.
Well, it's sweet that day after article. I'm going to start reading that, and then I'll just totally like snipe some of the things you've said and pretend I came up with
and
them.
I'm going to be like, pretty sure that's what Zach said.
That sounds like Zach.
That's okay.
Thanks for coming in,
yeah,
man.
thank
we
you
really
so much.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
And our first guest today is brought to you by Southview Acura. Family owned and operated on Edmonton's south side, Southview Acura offers a premier selection of new and pre-owned Acuras and more, backed by expert service you can trust. Stop by today and discover why at Southview Acura, luxury meets reality.
That was awesome.
Yes.
I could pick his brain all day.
Well, it's true, eh? There's so many characters around here. It's just fun shooting the shit with them.
I mean,
getting
yeah,
to know them.
I got a message from listener Bill, and he's like, it feels like I'm also meeting my new coworkers because he's so invested in the show. And then, of course, we want to cross-promote other shows and other things that you can find on Oilers Nation, or other characters you might see on the streets or at the game, or you name it. Maybe in Vegas.
That's true. A lot of these characters going to be joining for that party. Should we get into the 3 stars of anything next? We've got a very good category today, and it's getting pretty heated right now. I believe the score is 6 for Reece, 5.5 for you, and 3.5 for me since starting this.
Yep. So we're going to get into the 3 stars of anything, and we will give you more details on that Vegas trip that you can be a part of before it's sold out. So we'll get to that before the end of the show. But right now, yes, 3 stars of anything.
It could be an athlete, snacks, or cars. It's time we pick our 3 stars of anything.
The top 3 smells that aren't food. Who's going to win?
This is going to be a tight one. Now, I believe Reece got the win yesterday, so gets the first overall choice today. That's how it works. We each draft a team of 3, and then we need you to vote over on the YouTube chat on which one of the teams you think wins. Reece, who's your first overall selection for smells that are great that aren't food?
No food answers allowed.
My first choice is going to be when you walk in the house and there's a new, fresh, real Christmas tree. It's literally like you're in a forest right there in the comfort of your own home.
Good answer.
Thank you.
I'm going to go with my first overall pick is going to be fresh rain.
Ooh, at what time?
Well, it depends on what season more than time. Because if you get that fresh rain in like May
And it's muddy.
and it's still like gross out,
Or kind of smells like gasoline at the same time.
Yeah, like dog poop because it's exposing,
Ew.
like melting the snow and you're just seeing lots of turds. Anyway, I'm talking fresh rain. Let's go with a summer rain. Fresh summer rain at like 7 p.m.
I love it. I'm going to go with something that I actually kind of just mentioned. The smell of gas, but specifically just like that random whiff you get at the gas station that you're like, it kind of smells good.
That's a little bit weird.
Like, you don't go further than the one sniff, but the one sniff is satisfying.
What if you got it on your fingers? Like, what if you got a little gas? You've done it before.
I don't think I have.
You've never got gas on your fingers at the gas station.
How does that even happen?
Well, when you're putting the thing away, a dribble will hit you in the hand. Or if you fill it up too much and it bubbles over and you got to screw the cap in and there's still a little bit of gas there and your thumb swipes it.
It's never happened to me. Does it smell good on a thumb?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it does.
Perfect.
We used to wash our hands with gas at the farm.
Why?
To get, like, paint off.
Oh.
Works really good. Probably terrible for us, though. Hey, just getting going. Reece, you ever wash your hands with gasoline?
I've never had the pleasure.
Okay.
Do you like the smell of gasoline at the gas station?
Yeah, I think I used to a little bit more when I was like younger.
Yeah, I think
now,
we all
sometimes
did.
it's like a little bit extreme.
Yeah, remember when you would be a kid and you'd be like, oh yeah, it smells so good. I feel like that's very relatable. Reece did it. I did it. You're pretending you didn't. We know that you were sniffing it.
Reece, your second overall choice for things that smell good that aren't food.
I'm going to go, this might be kind of niche, but when you get a fresh pair of shoes, and like the smell on a fresh pair of shoes, like the inside is like something totally different, and especially after wearing them, then it's pretty brutal.
I was going to say, let's not catch Reece sniffing shoes that have been in
Right.
the entrance for an extended period of time.
But I will say there is some, even when you open the box and you get like the little poof.
The little poof.
Poof of new shoes.
Poof shoe.
The new shoe poof.
Yes.
That's a good band name.
Yeah.
With my second overall pick, I'm going to say the smell of a hockey rink in the morning. Now, not an ODR and not like Rogers Place, but all the other ones.
So like your small town
Sure.
hockey. Why in the morning?
I don't know.
Because it's less BO.
Well, there's just not people there. You're not smelling French fries on the walk-in. Maybe you're not smelling like your coach's coffee yet. It's nothing but just like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. There's a scent.
Like hope.
And then you drop the puck. You like the first one out and you throw the puck on the ice and it makes that slap.
Ooh, and it
And
echoes.
It echoes. Hell yeah. But that smell, there is a smell.
And then the deep fryer gets rolling.
And then afterwards, yeah, you know you're just going to dummy
A burger.
a burger,
A rink
probably
burg.
some fries and swamp water.
You know, you weren't supposed to have food included with this. I tried to trick you there. Don't vote for Ryder. He cheated. Just kidding. Okay,
Wait up. 1 second. This message says premium gasoline smells different.
Like what?
It's different.
Oh, I don't do premium. Rich.
That's interesting. I might have to test that out.
Me too. But only $1.
We should bring in little shot glasses of premium and regular and see if we can figure out what's what
Yeah.
for the smell. Imagine trying to get just the right amount of gas in for a shot glass, though.
Do you feel so proud of yourself when you hit the exact $1? It's like a game.
Yeah. There is something very
There's something
rewarding
about it that you're just like, nailed it.
the perfect pour. You like do this with the gas handle before you put it
Yeah,
back
you
in.
whip it around a little bit, put it in your fake belt.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Don't do that.
Next up.
Okay, my next one is gonna win over some animal lovers in the chat today. Puppy paws. Puppy paws. They smell like Doritos. They smell like chips, Fritos, and it's the best.
But dog paws, not as much. It's got to be a puppy. Because I feel like puppy breath is nice, and old dog breath is not nice. But do the paws change as well?
You might have got me there. You're right.
So it's just dog paws.
Just dog paws. The smell of Fritos, which is not food. Did I also just sewer myself?
You might have. Next up, Reece, your third overall choice for the 3 stars of anything.
Okay, for my final selection, this came down to the wire, actually. I'm going to go with, like, the day after you go to a campfire, and then that smell is just kind of on your clothes. I think just in limited quantities,
Yeah.
I think that is awesome. Just laying around the next day after, you might be a little hungover.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, you just got that faint little campfire smell. I think it's delicious.
And you're like, what did I say around that campfire again?
Yeah, true.
Is someone mad at me today?
Like, why are my legs burnt? Did I try to jump the campfire again?
Not again.
I will say also that smell of like a faint campfire likely means you've only been around one campfire, and that could mean there's more to come. Like it could be morning 2 of a camping trip where you're like, I'm going to be having another fire today. I'm going to wear this again.
Or even the smell of the fire that someone's already made before you got up. And you know that like they're on top of it.
And they're making an espresso in there.
They've already started a pot of coffee. Incredible.
Open campfire people that take it seriously
They're
are
the best.
Salt of the earth.
Shout out to
people.
my friend Katie. She's the only one out of my group of girlfriends that's organized.
Yeah.
And every time we go camping, we just know if we forgot something, Katie has it.
Yeah,
you have to have a friend like that.
If you don't, camping can pretty much just feel like you lost your home. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go out with 3 or 4 buddies and nobody takes control, nobody's a party captain, nobody's a camping captain.
You need a camping captain.
It just feels like, what are we doing here?
Who's going to be the one chopping the wood? You need to have someone that's on top of that and putting the wood into the fire to keep it rolling.
I don't mind that job.
Okay.
Yeah, keeping the fire going. That's one of the few jobs I excel at. Next up for 3 stars of anything, top 3 smells that aren't food. My third overall pick is going to be when you get off the plane in a foreign country.
And it's just that first smell of something new.
And like everywhere has a little bit of a different smell. What I'm thinking about right now is Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to like an all-inclusive
It's
for a
warm.
week. And
the warm air.
For some reason, that air doesn't get into the plane.
Mm-hmm.
It's that first step off of the plane when the humidity and the salt water combines, and you just know you're about to dummy some cervezas and have the best time ever.
I like that.
The beer right before you get on the bus is a crucial one as well, right? And that's when you can really smell that. So I'm just trying to sell this thing. I need the win.
Yeah, you do. Okay, my last pick is fresh bed sheets. Not only are they incredible to get into, but there's something about the smell. We were talking earlier about detergent. You only need a little bit. Mm-hmm. Get the hypoallergenic one that's not as stinky, but you still get some sort of that gratification of just knowing that they're fresh.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
We've got a listener or a viewer from Russia that says you should visit Russia in summer. The smell of fresh food is great here.
Wow, shout out.
Thank you for checking out the show, Kira.
That's so cool. Hi, Kira. Okay, let's spitfire our 3 stars of anything, the top 3 smells that aren't food, and then we'll get the poll up in the chat, and you decide who is the winner. Eventually, we're going to have some wagers on this, too.
Big wagers,
Big
too.
wagers. We're just getting started with this show, finding out what segments work, what ones you're not interested in. I think 3 stars of anything is a staple.
Yeah.
So we'll get to a point where after a month, whoever has the least amount of votes has to do something, or who knows?
I feel like that was a pretty good round. I respect everybody's list.
Reece, let's hear your 3 smells that aren't food.
I have real Christmas trees in the house, smell of fresh shoes, and the campfire smell on your clothes.
Ryder?
I had fresh rain, the smell of a hockey rink in the morning, and when you get off of the plane in a foreign country.
For me, I have gas at the gas station. No, we are not huffing it. Sorry if that was misleading. The smell of puppy paws and fresh bed sheets. I'm not feeling confident today. I don't think I'm going to beat you guys.
We did get one message that said the smell of Canadian Tire, which I'm surprised you didn't go with.
How did I forget? That's my favorite smell, to the point where Canadian Tire sent me a candle in the mail that smelled like their store.
Because you talked about it so much, about how like
it
that's
was limited edition candle.
The smell of Canadian Tire even gets you going a little bit.
It does. It smells like hard work.
Fair enough.
Anyway, the poll is now up. Obviously, I'm voting for myself because I'm going to be the only one that votes for me.
Marianne says the smell of a new box of crayons or Play-Doh.
Ooh.
That's a good one that we didn't mention.
Richard said a newborn baby. A fresh cut lawn. Can't believe that wasn't mentioned, said Army Chris.
True. Wrong time of year to be even thinking about that.
Kelsey, Lisa's eating puppy paws in the trunk. That's enough. I don't put puppies in the trunk.
QF Pro says the woodworking shop. That's an amazing smell.
So my dad always did woodwork in the garage, and us 3 daughters were rarely allowed to go in there because when we did, we would just snoop around and mess everything up. And he would always have these piles of dust, like sawdust. And I loved it, and it smelled so good. But yeah, we would just like move it all around and make a mess and rip up his Canadian Tire money, which I thought was fake, but it wasn't. So we were banned from being able to go in the garage.
Lloydminster Arby's says, I'll one up you. The smell of Nelson lumber before you hit up a beef and ched. So Nelson lumber is
That's on St. Albert Trail.
Oh, well, there's also a Nelson lumber, the original one.
Oh.
Created by Ray Nelson in Lloydminster, right next to the Arby's.
Get out.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out.
Maybe they'll sponsor the show.
Who else is listening or viewing, watching this from Lloyd? Hello. Welcome to the show today. Horses, says Bruno. The smell of horses is nice. Mm-hmm. Austin said the smell of freshly sharpened skates, man, you can't beat it.
Interesting. I don't know if I know that smell. Reece, you play a lot more hockey than me. Is that a distinct smell, freshly sharpened skates?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty distinct. That's a great one too, because like if you get your skates sharpened a lot, you definitely know like it's definitely like almost burnt metal. Like it's just weird.
Is it at the place where you get it done?
Like if you're at United Cycle or something,
or even at the rink, they got guys that'll do it. Is it there where you smell it, or afterwards, like in the room?
at home?
Yeah, like in the room where they sharpen the skates, you can definitely smell it. But even like when you're like freshly got them sharpened, you can kind of smell them on them. But don't get too close because your skates probably stink.
I've never noticed that. I've got a deviated septum, so although my smeller looks like it's probably pretty effective, it doesn't work as good as most smellers.
Yeah. Well, because it's got a crooked path, right? Mm-hmm. Because you've broken it. Was it a couple times or just once? Or
yeah, twice. The one time I broke it, I was checking a text while walking into the bathroom.
Oh, no.
And somebody opened the door and got me right there.
Yeah.
That's like the most embarrassing story ever.
Meat Watcher, getting a whiff of a cigarette on a winter night, post ripping beers. That's a good one. A black felt marker, says Oilers Gal. A fresh blowout, like when your hair is really nice, says CBB87.
Adam says new textbooks.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, you like the idea of the smell of a textbook, but then when you actually have to do the work, you're like, this sucks.
Start reading it.
Yeah. What was that sound?
I was like...
Ew, your mouth is making the grossest sounds.
Sorry to people who are just checking out the podcast.
Yeah.
They're not seeing that I'm also doing a facial expression of disappointment.
I'm glad I called you out for that, just to make sure. Anyway, thanks
Reece,
everyone
you're gonna
for...
have to edit that out.
Yeah, edit that out. Make sure you're voting on our 3 stars of anything. There's 38 votes, but there's over 100 of you in the chat. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And we got a tie again.
Do you know how important this is to us?
You and I are tied. We're kicking the hell out of Reece, too.
Also,
wouldn't it be funny if I just like came from behind, though, from everybody that didn't vote?
Wow.
Is that the first we've seen of the competitive side of Reece? He had a whole different
unlocking.
energy there.
It's unlocking.
Can you imagine?
I love that. Bring more of that energy.
Hey, you little bitch.
Yeah.
Guess who's coming for daddy?
You guys are losers. You wish you were as powerful as me. Make sure you're sharing this video too. If you share our YouTube show on your social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, let us know in the chat. And you're going to be qualified to pick up a gift card, a $25 gift card to spend at a lot of incredible local businesses here in the city, including Dog Patch, which is right underneath us. We got Little Brick and Cloverdale Coffee. So hit us up. Let us know that you are sharing the love. It means a lot to us. We have Sophie Gray coming in around 9:30 today, just a heads up. So that's coming up shortly on the show.
Yeah.
And we're excited to pick her brain about her businesses that she owns here in the city. If you've been looking for a therapist, any help with mental health, if you know someone that would like to know more about DiveThru, we're going to talk to her in a little bit on the show.
Reece, I sent you something. It's a new jingle. Do you remember? Do you got that, sucker?
I do, yes.
You want to fire that up for me? And then Lisa's going to get into some interesting things that she's come across.
Now it's time for something that you'll probably forget. It's things Lisa found on the internet. Hey!
That's it. Things Lisa found on the internet.
There was a homeless man in California that found a scratch ticket on the ground. Picked it up. It had not been scratched yet. So he scratched it. He won $1 million.
No.
Yep. $1 million scratch ticket that he found on the ground outside.
Can you imagine hearing that story and you bought a scratch ticket and you're like, I could have swore I put it in my pocket.
And then you just never think about it again because it's like, oh, the odds of me actually winning.
Yeah, you just get over it. And then finding out somebody, oh my God, I'd lose it.
My friends Rebecca and Jason got married a couple summers ago. And as the parting gift at the wedding, they were all scratch tickets. I said, I could never pick up 200 scratch tickets
and not just start going
and not just keep them to myself.
Right. Like you'd change your mind and just be like, let's actually see how much I'd win.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, congratulations to this guy. He's a millionaire now.
Or you'd convince yourself like, I'll just scratch one. There's going to be somebody that doesn't show up.
Yeah.
And then like, maybe I'll just scratch until I win one.
Also, do you know how hard it was for me to leave that wedding with just one scratch ticket? When there was a full pile of them leaving the venue, I was like, oh, good thing I love these people.
So this guy won $1 million on a scratchy that he found on the ground. I thought normally if you misplace it like a scratch and win like that they do a pretty good job of like finding out where it was sold and checking the CCTV and seeing if...
Really?
Yeah, I think...
How would they know that that's the winning ticket?
I just remember hearing of like somebody cashing a ticket that they found and then the original owner of the ticket came forward.
Well, maybe that's one with just numbers, like lotto numbers.
Yeah.
This one was like a scratchy.
Sure, I guess so. Anyway,
is it cool that we're calling them scratchies, or do you guys hate that?
No, I think...
Is that what people call them?
Yeah.
Oh.
They call them scratch-offs in the States.
Oh.
Which feels like you're just using one too many words. Just call them scratchies.
Another story that I found on the internet. Apparently heated seats are not good for your sperm. There was a study done that said that using heated seats in your vehicle raises your scrotal temp. I think you all know that. And this could contribute to lower sperm quality.
Really?
Yeah.
Just keeping them warm. Mm-hmm. Does that mean you get lower sperm quality if you live in a hot country and often sit on hot seats?
True.
Because, like, we don't have to deal with that as much. If you're sitting on a bench outside here, you're not worried about it getting hot.
No. It's up and down and up and down. They go in and then they come out. How does it work?
I mean, you're pretty close, actually. That's pretty much how it works.
I thought that was an interesting study that was done.
Yeah.
Heated seats. Who would have thought? And the last story that I found on the internet that I thought was really interesting is movie theaters are doing this thing. In particular, apparently Landmark already does this. That's what I read in the comments. But Cineplex is launching an $8.99 mystery movie premiere. So you don't know what movie you're at until the lights go down and they just reveal it for you.
Whoa.
It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it's fun. Imagine, though, you take your kid, they're like 7, and they're super excited, and it's like, boom. Now for the feature presentation, Magic Mike 6.
Before I get back into that.
Damn, what a waste of money.
I'm sorry. Reece, do you mind going and grabbing Sophie Gray? She's at the door downstairs. Thank you so much. Okay, imagine if you were at the theater, though, and you sat down. What was your joke? I don't want to steal it because I wasn't listening. What did you say?
You weren't listening.
No, I did a fake laugh, and then I read Sophie's message. What did you say? Something about Terminator?
No, I said... Imagine how disappointing it would be if you took your 7-year-old to surprise movie night and you sat down in the theater and they're like, now for the feature presentation, Magic Mike 6.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
You know what I mean?
Okay, my joke's not as funny. Never mind. I was going to say it's just B movie every time.
Oh.
Which is a weird movie. Jerry Seinfeld is a bee and falls in love with a woman and they have a relationship. This woman fell in love with a bee that flew in through her window. Something's not right with you.
Some of the movie concepts, you wonder how they got the green light. Looking at that Drew Barrymore movie where she's the reporter.
Is that the one where she keeps losing her memory?
No.
With Adam Sandler?
No. She's the reporter and she goes back to school and falls in love with a teacher, but she's pretending to be a student.
Grossy Josie.
I don't think that's the name of the movie.
Well, that's her. They call her Grossy Josie.
Yeah.
It's Never Been Kissed.
Never Been
Kissed.
And
she ends up, like her having a relationship with her teacher who thinks she's young.
Like when you break down that storyline and somebody was like, oh, yep, that's going to sell.
What's another weird storyline that when you think back on the plot, you're like, this is very inappropriate. There's so many. I just can't think of any on the spot.
Well, I just gave mine.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But now I'm asking the chat.
Now you want me to come up with a better one.
That was a good one. Grossy
Oh.
Josie was a good reference.
Thanks.
My hands are a little bit damp. Sorry.
Weird storylines obviously getting people a little confused on the chat as well. Haven't seen any great suggestions coming in on that just yet.
I'm trying to find my questions that I have for Sophie. Here they are. Found them. Before we get Sophie in here, let's talk about the pond tournament that people can get a part of. And then, of course, we'll try to remember before the end of the show to talk about the Vegas trip that you can get tickets to join us on as well.
Sure.
Pond tournament in Jasper.
Yes, it's going to be super awesome and shakes down from January 23rd to 25th at Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge, which if you've never been before, absolutely tremendous place. It is, well, I mean, weren't they going to do an episode of The Bachelor there? I think they might have. Then COVID got in the way. Maybe they did eventually afterwards as well. But like that's the pinnacle of places. If Canada's showcasing it as the spot.
Yeah, well, and even Reece said the other day, he's like, go a day early. Or was that Bag Milk? Somebody said something along the lines of like, if you're going to come to this 4-on-4 pond tournament, come a couple days early and do some sightseeing if you've never done that before.
3 days of pure hockey paradise on beautiful Lake Mildred. It is a 4-on-4 tournament. You can have up to 8 people on your team. Highly recommend that. Then if somebody gives her a little too hard the night before, they don't have to play the next day. There's different levels, different categories. So if you're a competitive team, you'll get some good competition there. If you're just looking to have a good time, you'll probably end up playing the Oilersnation team.
Well, and there's apparently supposed to be some surprise alumni players that are going to be popping in every once in a while. I mean, outside of playing the actual hockey games, we're going to be doing like trivia and viewing parties and just fun for the whole family as well.
So grab your buddies, lace them up, and get ready for an unforgettable weekend in Jasper. Spots fill up fast. Head to nationgear.ca and register your team today.
I'm very excited. We have our second guest of the day, someone that I have followed on social media for so long because she's incredible. And I have so many questions for our guest too, because there's been so many pivots and so many exciting things that have happened in her world, whether that's personally or professionally. So welcome to the Sports Interaction Studio. We have the one and only Sophie Gray. Welcome. If you want to move your mic a little close to your mouth, let's get a check, check, check.
How is this sounding?
Perfect.
Sounds
Okay,
so
we
good.
are live. Let's do it.
Welcome to the studio. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you originally reached out to me because you're doing something called, I want to call it like the mental health mini microphone series. Did I nail that?
Yeah, that's a working title. So that's perfect. Nailed it. That is what it is. Yes. Yeah.
So we'll get to that shortly after we're done our live show. So if you don't mind sticking around, we'll come join you right at 10 on the dot.
Perfect.
But tell us a little bit about yourself. You are the owner of DiveThru. What is DiveThru?
Yeah, so I'm the owner of DiveThru. We are a mental health studio that connects today's generation with mental health support designed with them in mind. So very simply, we offer counseling services and psychological assessments, but ultimately wanting to make it more relatable. I like to say I'm not a clinician myself. I've just been in a lot of therapy. So I really want people to just feel like it's normal, a part of everyday life, and more comfortable.
So when people walk into DiveThru, what makes it different than maybe your classic therapy office that I don't want to say that a therapy office is a bad place to be, but it can seem cold. It can seem intimidating. It's really quiet and awkward. And, you're just sitting there filling out your paperwork. What do you bring that is new and fresh for people that have been wanting to talk to somebody?
Yeah. So firstly, we really start before they even get into the therapy room or into our space. So what we've heard is finding a therapist is so awful. So we started by making a matching tool that makes it super easy for you to find your therapist. So people often think they're okay, I'm an individual adult struggling with anxiety. That's one part of the match. But the second part of the match is I'm looking for a therapist that's direct. I'm looking for a therapist that's a person of color or practices from this specific faith or is aligned with the, LGBTQ community. Really taking in those characteristics that can help make a better match. So we have a matching tool that does that. Then it takes our team of over 60 therapists, finds you your best match. You can easily book through our portal. And then when you come in person or you can do it online, really for us, we're like, we want it to just feel comfortable. So our spaces are very vibrant, very colorful.
Is there science behind the colors you chose? The purple and the turquoise or turquoise?
You know, I could go into the science, but I just think they look nice together.
They do. They really do.
Right. So, but yeah, we just want it to not be intimidating. We have fun mental health stickers, and we just, again, normalizing is the word I feel like I'm saying 10,000 times.
I think that you also have a slogan that says you can cry here.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah, right? It's just like, and to me, crying is one of those emotions. You can be crying for good reasons, for not so, exciting and fun reasons. But whatever it is, however you want to show up, you can cry here, you can scream here, you can process here, you can reflect here. We just want people to know this is a space for them to show up. Honestly, they don't have to come in any sort of way. They can just show up in who they are and work through whatever they're going through.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. After Italy, I had really bad panic attacks, and I remember reading about yours, so I would love to ask you about that and how you got your start with DiveThru. But I remember reading yours and being like, oh, I don't understand, because I've never had a panic attack. But then I had one in Italy, and it was awful. And when I came home, I talked to a therapist, and I remember sitting in the room, and she's like, so what's going on? And I just started crying immediately, and you do feel silly. So even you having that as your kind of your slogan and your thing I just think it's really smart.
It is interesting that I think the first visit for a lot of people is really intimidating.
Totally.
But then if you go and you have a bad experience with a therapist, or it doesn't feel like a fit, and you've tried to spill yourself to them and share what's going on with you, and then you walk out and feel like it maybe wasn't productive or that wasn't a right fit, that second time can even be more intimidating for therapy. But it is interesting that, like, if you can get into the groove and find somebody that works with you, how fulfilling the therapy journey can be, just because I think we all have so much potential that if you can get rid of some of the clouds and some of the stuff that's holding you back, it can be so effective.
And yeah, I think it's, when it comes to finding a therapist, I don't love to say it's like dating, but in a way, it's going, sometimes right off the bat, you're like, okay, great. But other times, maybe not. And sometimes it's a sign that, okay, it's going to take some time to build that rapport with that specific therapist, or maybe they're not a fit. So something that I'm really proud that we offer is a rematch service, because we're like, hey, like, just so you know, it's okay if this person isn't a fit for you.
And they're not going to be offended.
Exactly. Like a good therapist wants to know if they're a fit for you or not, and if they're not, they want to support you finding someone else, because it's all about your clinical care. And I just think it's like, if I was going to a hairdresser and then I was like, didn't want to go to the hairdresser, I would never go to someone at that that place. We don't want to make it feel like that. We want it to be, again, a part of the journey, because that clinical fit is so important.
How many locations do you have with DiveThru now?
So we have 4 in the Edmonton area. So we have just behind White Ave. We have Central in the thick of the LRT construction, but it's really meant to be, more close to downtown, close to some schools. Then we are in Windermere and in St. Albert.
So tell us a little bit about how this whole thing came to be. What is the background story, if you're comfortable sharing?
Of course. Yeah. So, you brought up panic attacks. So that was a big part of my journey. So I had started posting on social media right out of high school. I built a large social following.
You had a huge following. You were in magazines.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Back in the day. It feels like forever ago.
And this was a fitness account mostly.
Yes. Yeah. So I was talking about physical health, and I always tried to have that kind of thread of mental health. But the reality was, behind the scenes, the pressure of looking a certain way took a really, big toll on myself. And I had always struggled with my mental health in my teens. The first time my mom dragged me to therapy when I was 13, the therapist told me to not come back if I wasn't going to talk. And it was just this terrible journey with mental health and not getting the support that I needed. And then I ended up having a panic attack on an airplane. So I was coming home from New York, landed in Toronto, was like, this panic attack was so brutal that
you feel like you're gonna die.
Oh, 1,000%, especially if it, like, the first one hits you, because you're like, this is it.
You can't breathe.
My time, is here. So, and then on an airplane where the doors were closing, I'm pretty sure I passed out. And then so when we got into Toronto, he was my boyfriend then, he's my husband now, so we know he's a good one.
Yes.
But I turned to him, I was like, Riley, you need to drive me across the country. So that's what we did. I remember when we were going, we had to go back into the States. We had to go across the border. And they were like, oh, like, what are you doing here? And Riley's like, she had a panic attack. We have to drive home.
I could have been home by now.
Yeah, right? So,
He was so supportive to you, but when I finally asked about it, he got to unleash.
Yes, I mean, I felt the same. But yeah, it was like a 4-hour flight, and it turned into, it's like a 38-hour drive to get home from Toronto. And I had panic attacks the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
it's rough. Because with me, when I first had mine, it was in Italy, and I had no medication. I had never been given anything for it before. So like going through that without, like, I would listen to podcasts to try and calm down, and like meditation stuff, nothing worked. Like it was really, really tough. So I completely empathize. Is that the right word? Empathize? With what you went through. So this all happened, and you went, okay, I'm an influencer. I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to try something completely new. So what happened next?
Yeah. So ultimately what happened next was a whole lot of stepping back. So I really needed to take space for myself. I felt like I needed to be like, confess in a way where I was like, listen, I've been doing this thing. This is how you're perceiving my life online. But just so you know, this is what's happening behind the scenes. I'm actually in a really, really terrible place. Because I had been building, right? Like that was like the kind of the last, final straw sort of situation. So from there, I continued posting, but shifted in what I was talking about, but like really took a step back, really worked on my mental health for a number of years. And through that, when I was in my journey, I realized I'm like, there's so much clinical language. Like I was like reading every article, I was trying every app, I was doing so much, I was putting in so much effort to get better. And I was like, listen, like I'm struggling here, and then I'm struggling to find support. Like that doesn't really make sense. And therapy, I had been fortunate to find a therapist that was helpful. And I was like, okay, this is really impactful. Journaling was really impactful for me as well. So DiveThru actually started as a journaling app. And then throughout the pandemic, it more so evolved into a psychoeducation platform. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, we need to like teach people what is a panic attack, how to, manage it. There's some education that we just don't get at all. And then from there, we really started to build this kind of community around this concept of normalizing mental health. And then in 2022, had this idea for, well, what if we bring this to therapy and we make it kind of bring that relatable and comfortable feeling to in-person spaces. And then here we are.
Making it approachable is so important too. Like I remember talking to a family member of mine once about therapy, and her wording was even great sports cars need to go to the shop once in a while. And it was interesting to hear just kind of that angle. I don't know if I'm not a big car guy, but maybe they thought that's what I needed to hear, but it was true, and I just didn't know how to go about getting in. So if you can get in and you have a good experience, all of a sudden I think you can learn a lot about yourself. So bravo on understanding that there was a need for making it approachable, accessible, and normalizing it. And
also normalizing grief. So if you don't follow Sophie Gray already on Instagram, what are you waiting for? She's such a great follow and so honest. And I know a lot of people that watch this show have dealt with grief in different ways. Everyone has. But you constantly post about losing your soul dog. So I'm curious if you have any tips or advice for anyone watching who has gone through something similar. Because for you, it does seem like that is the one thing that it sticks with you, even though you now have another dog, which you love, but you're constantly going back and posting about the dog that you lost.
Yeah, so I lost Rio, that I call my soul dog, in April 2024. So that's over a year and a half ago. And yeah, it's still very much a part of my day-to-day, less and less, I like to say less and less intense waves that hit. But when they hit, they, it's like it's day one. And I think the biggest thing for me on that journey was talking about it. Like the reason I talk about it is because I'm like, I feel like people don't, and I'm like, I just need to like get this like experience out of me and into the world in some capacity. So I find that's really helpful, whether that's online or with a loved one. But I think the biggest thing for me in my journey of grieving the loss of Rio has been creating like a way to spend time with him. That seems a little bit odd, but when I first lost him, every night at bed I would go through photos, and I would almost like I didn't contain my sadness necessarily, but I made a space for it. So if I'd been busy throughout the day, I knew that at the end of the day, I had that time to grieve him. And I like was like, okay, this is my dedicated time. I can be as sad or, you know, have happy memories, whatever was kind of coming through at that time.
This is like great. Sorry to interrupt. I want you to continue on. But if you're watching this and you're like, well, I've never lost a soul dog, but maybe there's a person in your world that you've lost. This is a really good tip because you're right. We get busy and then you almost feel guilty that you haven't thought about them throughout the day.
And I think it's like this person, this dog, whoever it is such a big part of your day-to-day life. And then suddenly they're not. So for me, it was like that, you know, I even get chills saying that. It's like, how can we still carry them with us? How can we still create space and time? And, you know, sometimes it was really, really painful. And then I'd have to be like, okay, this is too much. Like I might have a panic attack. So I need to kind of, you know, take a step back. But I did that every single day for like probably 6+ months. And now it's less and less. And, you know, there's pictures around the house. But I think for me, creating that kind of space and container around my grief was like really healthy. And gave me a kind of more structured way. Grief still hits you in an unstructured way, but knowing I had that was like a sense of relief in a way.
When I think if you lose a loved one and, you know, a family member or something like that, everybody understands that there's that much grief that you have to work through. So it almost feels like more justified, if that makes sense. But when it comes to a pet, I think maybe people sometimes,
They're like,
if they've never
it.
had that relationship, or even like you thinking that they don't understand because they've never had that relationship, all of a sudden you can't give yourself the space to do it. One of the experiences I had was my ex and I went through a miscarriage, and I didn't realize that I was carrying any of that. And I was given the opportunity, a therapist talked to me about it, about just like going and saying goodbye to the baby we had lost. And I had no idea I was carrying so much grief from that
You were so worried about your wife at the time and what she was going through, not only mentally but physically as well, that maybe you didn't even give yourself space to properly grieve yet.
So like you said, you never know when it's coming or what it's coming from. But I think if people at least identify that it's reasonable to grieve about the loss of anything, and it could hit you really hard and you might be carrying it. But
well, thank you for everything that you do. Where can people find you online?
Yeah, so you can follow me, Sophie Gray, on Instagram, Gray with an A, and then Let's DiveThru. So like DiveThru, but without the R. That was intentional. Or DiveThru.com.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time to sit with us. And if you don't mind, we'll come bug you and we'll do that little mini video, and then you'll be able to see that soon enough on Let's DiveThru social media, I'm assuming. So it should be good. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great chatting, for sure.
So good.
Great guest.
Yeah, and then we got a bunch of people in the chat saying that they now follow her, so that's good. Even this one here, D2C wrote, I like dogs more than most people. Dogs are awesome. Thanks, great guest, guys, says Justin. Kel said, what a good husband. Wow. Yeah, can you imagine? Riley's like, what do you mean we can't get on this plane? We have to drive. We have to rent a car and drive?
Yeah, you tried to get me to do that from Italy, but then
I
I had to tell you that you can't do that.
No, it was pretty bad though. And if anyone ever wants to pick my brain about that, I mean, we only kind of touched on it. Feel free to DM me if you ever want to maybe pick Ryder's brain about something that he opened up about during this segment. I mean, we're an open book and we're here for you if you need anything. So thanks for sticking around through that kind of heavy chat. But I think every once in a while, I mean, the sauce is all about being messy and fun and silly and sweet and salty. But every once in a while, I think it's important for us to focus on things that everybody goes through.
Well, it's good for everybody to know that there are places out there like DiveThru. You know what I mean? That can be a approachable place to go to therapy. And I loved how she said that you don't have to use the first therapist you find, and that they actually promote the idea of working your way through until you find somebody that's a really good fit for you to open up and share with.
Yeah, and even her comparing it to the hairstylist, because it's true. If you went to one and you didn't like it, you would not step foot back in there.
Right.
Whereas they encourage it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you didn't vibe with me? That's totally fine. Here's a person that could work better.
Another thing that she mentioned that I found interesting was like they have different therapists for different religious backgrounds and whatnot. Can you imagine if like you went in with ready to open up and share, and the therapist you were talking to believed something entirely different than you, and how tricky that would be to work through? Like, it's just not a fit sometimes. So knowing that's pretty cool, like, and powerful.
So yeah, big love to Sophie Gray. Make sure you're following her online. Should we get to our bets?
Yes, let's get into it. Last night you almost crushed it.
You know what's crazy is I was gonna tweet out, "Don't worry, guys, I got a Clattenburg goal on my bet tonight," before he even scored, and that would have been so much more epic than me tweeting after and just trying to brag about it.
Well, and you also had it combined with an Oilers win. So
Whatever.
while you were bragging about it online, I was sitting back rolling my eyes harder than I've ever seen.
The game wasn't over yet. This segment is brought to you by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with Canada's homegrown sportsbook. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. I'm going in tonight. Like, I have a sick parlay.
All right.
I'm pretty pumped about it.
It's going to be a wild Wednesday, is it?
So I am betting on the Minnesota Wild to beat the Blackhawks, the Kraken to beat the Stars because they are probably tired from last night.
Okay.
The Knights are going to beat the Senators, and the Ducks are going to beat the Canucks. Sorry to Justin in the chat. I know you're a big Canucks fan. Thanks for being here. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's a big dog.
But it's not bad.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think probably betting on a Clattenburg goal last night was more wild.
Yeah.
For a guy that was averaging, going into that, just about 5 minutes from his one NHL game. Like, him scoring in his second game was
epic.
Awesome.
Epic.
I hope he stays in the lineup. I really liked him last night.
Me too.
My bet today is I'm going to go with Winnipeg as an underdog in this game against Washington.
Okay.
I think Winnipeg knows that they need to put up some wins if they're going to stay competitive in their if they're going to stay relevant in their very competitive division. So I got, did I bet on the Capitals by accident?
No.
It says result Capitals.
Oh, no. That's amazing.
Damn
But
it.
at least you bet on a game that's an early start. Mine are all at like 8 p.m. I'm like, I'm going to be in bed. I'm not going to know about my ticket until tomorrow. That sucks. You screwed up.
So I need a
Okay, but
Capitals
sometimes,
win. Yeah,
don't they
sometimes.
say that what your like intuition is to bet on?
Yeah.
Go the opposite, or maybe your brain knew. Like, nope.
Sure.
Okay,
So-
everybody watch that early start game tonight, and then let's all laugh at Ryder if he loses his bet, or
Yeah.
let's cheer for him if he wins. That's so funny.
Capitals win with a Shifley goal. I mean, it could still happen.
It could happen. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Get in on the action with parlay boosts, live betting, and easy deposits and payouts. Bet now at sportsinteraction.com/Oilersnation. 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
Can you fire up that closing music, Reece, with the What We Learned Today theme?
What did I learn?
Well, you got a couple seconds to think
I
about
never
it.
have anything at the start, so let me think. Oh, I got something.
Okay.
Was there supposed to be a song with that?
I think so.
Don't worry, guys. Mercury's in retrograde till the 29th. There it is.
Now it's time to hear what we learned today.
Oh, no. Because those weren't done at the same time, you all had to watch our terrible dance moves.
Oh,
that
they
we do.
saw that?
Yeah, they saw it. It was bad.
All right. I learned an important lesson today, and it is that it seems like every person that we invite into the studio here that we work with has a vast knowledge of something entirely unique. Zach joined us today, and that guy knows more about The Simpsons than anybody I've ever met.
I mean, I would love to see a trivia round between him and Boardsy.
Is Boardsy a big Simpsons fan as well?
Huge Simpsons fan.
Ooh, that could be fun.
We should film it.
One of the watch parties. Well, maybe like for intermission.
Okay, I'm kind of piggybacking off of what you learned today. I learned that it's season 4 of The Simpsons that you need to watch. It's got the best jokes. Thank you for that information, Zach.
And Reece, any important lessons learned today?
Just this super cool, different opportunity to go and talk to somebody with DiveThru. I think that's super dope.
Yeah.
I was not very educated on this stuff before, so that's really sweet to...
Well, it's cool, too, because, yeah, it could be a plethora of things that you want to discuss. Your panic attacks or, my grieving or if you're feeling overwhelmed with work and every situation's different.
And it's okay to vent about every and anything.
Yes.
And you don't have to feel guilty if in your mind you're like, oh, I shouldn't be complaining because more people go through worse things. That's okay. You still need to, like you said, even a good car needs to go to the shop every once in a while.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us today with The Sauce. Make sure you're liking this video. Thanks everyone in the chat. I got to check the chat. It's been a while. All of our precious babies getting in on the chat room. We love you guys so much.
Wait. Lisa won the 3 smells.
Woo! All right. It's a good day for a good day. Thanks for being here. Stop pouting. Say goodbye to our friends.
No.
They took time out of their morning to hang out with us. Say goodbye.
They didn't take time out of their morning to vote enough for me.
Well, Sophie's waiting outside. Let's get you hooked up.
Fire up the ending.
Let's get you a match.
So, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like it, hype it, and share it with your friends.
And to not miss any of our content, make sure you're subscribing to the Oilersnation YouTube channel. Freaking nailed it.